Welcome to another Petersburg By Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised. Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What the Hell Is That? A Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle set in the online world of St. Petersburg by Night, a massive multiplayer TTRPG set in St. Petersburg and the Tampa Bay area in Florida, in the US. Tonight, we are down in the Sarasota region, catching up with a couple of our hunters. Missing a few while they're off doing other personal, let's call them side quests. But tonight, we're going to rapidly touch on in with Nick and Victor. These two wonderful gentlemen have organised to meet up this evening, with Nick currently visiting an animal shelter in the western region of Bradenton a couple of times a week, hoping to make friends with a raven and just give a hand out as well. So Nick, you are picking Victor up this evening, yes?
Yep.
Or this morning?
Not giving him a choice.
Okay.
I would assume this is on one of his days off, so he would be like, "Hey, Victor, are you working?" Wait for a reply. And then when Victor responds, send off another message. Okay, get ready. I'll be there in a second. I'm taking you to go play with puppies. Come on.
The skull emoji.
The skull emoji? You all right? I'm coming anyway, so put clothes on.
That's it, no more response.
So, you arrive in front of Victor's house. I'm guessing Nick is probably dressed neat casual.
It is summertime in Bradenton, Florida. He is like as short as the shorts allow of like athletic short, and like the skimpiest of tank tops for this. It's like it's too damn hot.
Cool, so you're wearing basically booty shorts and a tank top to go play with birds. I love it.
I wouldn't say booty shorts. I'd say those like gym shorts that
Yeah.
are more like men's volleyball shorts.
They're not far off being booty shorts, yeah.
They're not far off, but not quite.
Okay. So, Victor, Nick is arriving downstairs. Obviously doesn't know where in the building your place is, so he's just waiting for you. It's about 10:30 on a weekday morning.
Miss Gira is going to make sure if Nick is followed or not, just to be sure. And after that, he's going to get out of the building. Yeah.
Give me a wits and awareness roll, please.
Tac. Meh. I'm going to reroll that.
Okay. Track your willpower, please.
Yep.
It may be important later.
3 successes.
3 successes. You do not notice anyone following Nick. There is a police car that goes past, like just a cruiser. Doesn't appear to be following, just appears to be doing routine patrols.
Oh, it's a common thing in this street.
It's quite normal. So you head on down. Nick is waiting in his vehicle.
Victor is going to be like as usual, a lot more sober, I think, like with a black clothes, maybe a pair of sunglasses, maybe a leather, a coat and leather or something like that.
Leather jacket. In
Yeah,
summer. Okay.
yeah.
Going bad to the bone. I like it. Cool. So Nick,
And he's going to
leather-clad
get out.
Victor gets into the vehicle.
It is too damn hot for all of that. You're gonna die of a heat stroke. What the hell?
Yeah, it's fine.
No! Okay, what's wrong?
Nothing. What?
Okay, well, you're gonna go. We're gonna have a good time.
Yep.
Maybe you'll get a dog. Who knows? And then he drives off.
What?
I mean, Victor could still talk.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just. He was saying this while the car was stationary.
Yeah.
Once he says his piece, he's backed out of the parking spot and driven
So
off.
about that, it's been how many weeks you know about this place?
Like what? Storyteller, what? Like
About 2 weeks.
2?
2, 3.
About 2 weeks?
I didn't know you were a pet person.
Working on it! In question for my downtime. Has the nibbles happened pre this event, or
Pre this event.
Nick would kind of show like his arm, one of his arms while he's driving, got one hand on the wheel. Yeah, the little birds are spicy. I might have got nibbled on a time or two, but I'm working on it.
There's a few bite marks and what appears to be scratches across Nick's arm.
Oh, you made a friend, I guess.
Something like that. I'm working on it.
Well, I need to try different stuff. My therapist said to me. So let's enjoy some puppies. Are you sure it's going to be puppies? By the way, you.
Yes, Victor, I wouldn't lie and tell you there were pups there if there weren't actually dogs that would be there.
It could be an aviary or something like that. With just
Oh,
birds.
yeah, the aviary's in the back, but they do exotic animals sheltering as well as the stock standard cats and dogs and things like that.
You would actually note, Nick, this last week they've had one of the more random animals in. They actually had an alpaca.
Is he still there?
He would possibly still be there when you turn up, but there was an alpaca there who had come in out of an animal hoarding situation. Someone had had it in their
Buddy.
house. So they've got
Oh
like the backyard,
no.
one of the areas, grassed off areas out the back, set aside for the alpaca at the moment.
Also, Victor, have you ever seen an alpaca in person?
What?
An alpaca?
You mean like the spitting thing?
Yes, they are notoriously known to spit in people's faces as a
No,
defense mechanism. Yes.
really? Like in a okay. No, I never saw that. That's cool, I guess.
They might still be there because there was one that came in. Bless, it was a little hoarding situation going on.
Oh,
But I can't wait to see the little fella. Nick is just tippy tapping his hands on the steering wheel while he's driving.
do we have the right to actually pet the thing, or
Well, the idea is to rehome them, and much like people, other animals tend to go through the same trauma responses when put in bad situations.
oh yeah.
So our goal is to be able to sort of help them move on to find a new home where they're actually going to be properly taken care of.
Is there a second message here, or
No, no.
mm,
You
really?
asked. You asked.
Yeah.
It just
Okay,
so
and
happens that the brains of animals and the brains of people kind of work the similar way. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules,
I
Victor.
mean, I did know for birds and dogs. I didn't know for the others. I mean, that makes sense, especially if they are hurt. Um,
Animals and many animal species are smarter than a lot of us give them credit for, Victor.
I get it.
And while they're not totally conscious like the way we are, they can still have negative responses to stimuli the way that we do.
So we have an incentive to not do stuff around them, or to not be, I don't know, weak or stuff like that. I mean, if they have been traumatized in some way, you know.
I mean, there's a certain standard that I carry when I interact with animals, just in general. You don't typically want to, especially animals who have been traumatized due to a terrible situation. Um, Nicholas realizes how much this sounds like he's actually being a little shit to Victor about it, but he's really not. It's because Victor asked. And
Mm-hmm.
Nick is
Yeah,
not trying to hide the fact that this is making him actually very uncomfortable because he's not trying to dig at Victor in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna drop this conversation, Victor. Just
mm,
know that this was not a dig at you. Um, Coincidental, and he's just both hands
I
firmly on the steering wheel, a little blush to his cheeks.
mm,
Um,
don't
trying to
worry.
not make this worse than it already is.
Yeah, don't worry, old man. I get it.
So the short remainder of a slightly uncomfortable drive, not badly, but Nick is pointedly quiet and probably turns the radio up a little bit, makes it a little bit louder. You guys pull up in front of the shelter, and it seems relatively small at the front, but from what Nick has told you, Victor, there is a lot more out the back. They obviously don't display or leave the animals out where people can get to them easily just for security reasons. So you walk on in, and Lottie's not there today, Nick. So, Victor, as you walk in, it's quite a bright and airy waiting area. There's that definitive sort of cleaning product smell that a lot of places use to attempt to, from cleaning up after the animals. Obviously, it happens. Um, and there's a little diffuser on the front desk. It's just got some light sort of citrusy oils emanating from it. So it's that sort of a lightly pleasant fragrance, but there's that underlying of, just animals there. Lottie is not there today. It's actually, Carmel. is there today.
Who?
Carmel?
Caramel? Okay.
Carmel, yeah. So she's there this morning. She is a late 40s, light brown hair, sort of in a pixie cut, very, very thin. Definitely gives off that the children have left the nest sort of motherly vibe. But
So a midlife crisis.
Yeah, pretty much. She is a white woman there to help the animals. That's why she's there. All of like 5'1", nothing of her, but she's out there doing her job, helping the animals, doing her thing. She sort of greets you warmly. She's seen you a couple of times before, Nick. She's like, oh my goodness, you've brought a friend today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is a friend of mine, Victor.
Victor, lovely to meet you. And she walks over and offers her hand, and she's...
He's going to offer his hand too. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. It's like shaking a limp fish. There's nothing to the handshake. It's like, pleasure. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So have you come to help out or just come to look today? Or what's the plan?
He's going to look at Nick. Like,
we can always deal with it next.
I
A couple of
shrug.
big sets of muscles. Lug some of the dog food around. It makes it so much easier. There's not much of me, She sort of holds up her arm and gives a very noodly, thin, a bit of a squeeze and has a giggle at her own self.
I mean, I was going to look, but if you need help,
Oh, Nick?
I can learn that.
Are you back for more punishment today, Nick?
Yes,
that
I am.
bitey little bugger out the back, I'm really not interested in putting my hands in there today if I don't have to. Okay, you want clean out. Do you want the hose?
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Fantastic. I swear he's a smelly one, that one. Won't let me in. It's definitely not as nice as Sammy, which is one of the blue and gold macaws that's been there for quite a while. But look, it's fine. Well, Victor, I should grab the clipboard from behind the desk. He goes, if you're going to help out today, I'm going to need you to fill this out for me, please, love. Because otherwise we're just not covered for insurance if we don't have your details. You've got to sort of, sign your life away down the bottom and all that fun thing.
He's going to look at the sheet and the...
It's just name, phone number, insurance details, and a waiver at the bottom. So if you get injured, they're not responsible in the slightest. Sort of stock standard waiver program sort of stuff. She sort of waits
He's going to...
while you're doing that.
Yeah, he's going to sign it. I mean, doesn't seem like a threat. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's just for helping out.
Fantastic. Awesome. I'm so grateful you can bring someone else in here. It's fantastic, Nick. We definitely need more help.
Oh, I know. He needs some relaxation, so I thought maybe bringing him to help out with the animals might be a good thing for him. Right, Victor?
I don't know. I'm just here for helping. And it's been some time since I was with animals around, so maybe I'm maybe a little bit rusty.
She's going to look him up and down. Well, listen here, Marlon Brando, rebel with a cause. Let's go get you someone to play with. Would you prefer, are you more of a dog person or a cat person or birds or, oh my goodness, you need to come meet Fluffy.
Is that what the alpaca's name is?
That's what I'm calling him, and that's just what it is. And I don't care that someone else called him Herbert. His name is Fluffy.
What the hell names an alpaca Herbert?
I don't know. But that is Fluffy, and that is the end of it. Would you like to come meet him?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. And she walks towards the back door and sort of leads you through. And as she comes up to what she appears to go out another side door to go towards that, she picks up a large pot lid, like from the top of like a saucepan or a fry pan. She picks that up and holds it in front of her, and you can see it's got like some residue on it. Just in case, I'm not a fan.
The shield.
It takes
Okay.
takes a long time to get this skin looking pretty. We're not doing no thank you. And she walks out the back door like this, behind the pot lid, seemingly waiting to be spat at by the alpaca. I need you both, as you walk out the back door, to give me a dex in athletics as you hear a whack, this weird big squawk from this animal that is just not happy to be there. And you hear a like a snort at you at the same time before it spits. I'm going to make her roll as well. Because pot lid or not, this thing hates her. Herbert does not like being called Fluffy. It's a pretty good assumption right now, guys.
2 successes.
How many?
2.
3.
I mean,
She rolled 0. So she walks out, she goes, oh, by the way, I thought I had it. Nick, would you mind? I'll be right back. I need to go.
I got it.
Okay. The halter leaves is there, and she sort of walks back inside, puts a pot lid down as she walks in, and the door shuts behind you. Just hear, God damn animals here! I'm just trying to help them, and they don't even care about it. Like she just, and you hear her just mumbling about this, and basically she walks off.
So Nick is just gonna kind of put his hands up as he's walking towards Herbert.
So you see,
and
in the paddock, a light tan, very grumpy-looking, overgrown alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
He's so over fluffy. And he just
okay.
He just holds his hands up. He doesn't close the gap, but takes a few steps, hands up, from where he's standing to about halfway. Mm-hmm. And is going to let Herbert come to him if he so chooses.
So in between you and Herbert, there is what appears to be just a wire fence. And there is a food bucket sitting on your side of the fence, next to like a big drum with a lid that obviously has his feed in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just stares at you, and he stomps his foot once, just glares at you.
Does he stomp towards the feed bucket?
Just stomps his foot. So what alpacas will often do is, as a warning, they will stomp the ground near them, just as a go away from me sort of a thing. Mm-hmm. It's an aggressive posturing. Mm-hmm. And so he's looking between you and then Victor, and then you and then Victor.
Mm-hmm. Nick is gonna. This sounds so silly. Can Nick insight check Herbert to see if he's hungry, and that's why he's grumpy?
You can insight check the alpaca, yes.
What is that? Wits insight?
We're gonna go wits and insight. Actually, no. We're gonna go wits and insight, and I'll let you add your animal. One animal can dot to that, because yeah.
Can I try wits and insight as well?
You can try to wits and insight the alpaca.
Oh no, the alpaca was a fucking vampire. All along.
Oh my goodness. Hunter the Reckoning, folks.
4.
4 successes.
Victor, this is a grumpy shit of a thing. It is either hungry, angry, uncomfortable, something. Nick, because you have that dot of animal can, you get the same, but you also can see discomfort in the animal. Both of you can see the animal is uncomfortable. In summer, an unshorn alpaca is very uncomfortable.
Oh, because it's too hot. Their coats are... See, John knows a lot about animals.
So you can see that this is a very uncomfortable alpaca.
Yeah. It's fucking
Hunger
Florida.
might be there, but, you know.
I don't think he's the one to shear, so he's going to walk back in tell Victor not to walk any closer because he's probably over. Wait, hold on. He's gonna tell Victor not to get any closer. He's grumpy because he's hot because of his fur. Is there a water bucket anywhere around?
Yeah, there'd be a water bucket up against the wall. Yeah, you don't even need to go inside. There'd be a
Okay.
tap in the water.
He is going to kind of open the door to the inside and yell for Carmel.
Yeah.
That's her name. Okay, just making sure I heard that right. And yell for Carmel. We need to get someone in to shear the alpaca. He's dying of a heat stroke. That's why he's so. One of the reasons why he's so grumpy. He's hot.
And you just hear from the back, I have no idea who to get. What? There's clippers on the shelf.
Okay.
Can I find the clippers?
This is a terrible idea. This is a bad idea, but oh well, we're running with it. While Nicholas says that, and then shuts the door and is immediately pouring a bucket of cold, cool water for Herbert.
As the water starts to hit the bucket, the alpaca's ears shift towards you, almost perk slightly. He does have water in his pen, but it's probably been sitting there all morning and it's warmed up in the sun. So do you bring the bucket over?
Mm-hmm.
He greets you at the gate, almost expectantly, unsure, still cautious, but allows you to place the bucket inside his little enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Waits until you step back and then just has a massive drink of cool water. And just seems to almost relax and shake off a little bit. And then looks at you both and sniffs forward. Can you what, sorry?
As he's doing that, can I find any clippers or anything on the shelves near his pen, basically?
Leads or clippers?
Clippers, yeah.
Yeah, okay, give me what's an investigation to look for clippers in the storage room you just walked through. While John is slightly closer to a less grumpy alpaca. It's up to you whether you actually want to try this. You do not have to.
Can I ask what the role would be?
It's going to be 2 people. One will need to hold him, and that will be probably an intelligence animal or a charisma animal. And the person who does it will be doing a... I don't know whether I'd call it a dex and melee? Or... What role would you make for... What role do you make for shaving a llama? Shaving an alpaca?
I would argue either intelligence and craft or intelligence and melee. Or composure.
I would actually say dex, and the reason I'm saying dex is having shorn a sheep myself several times before. You need to be dexterous and know what you're doing. Otherwise you clip them. I would like to know if you guys are actually going to attempt this.
Whatever you want, man. I'm going in.
I need to know if, first off, Victor can find the clippers. Because if Victor can't find the clippers, it's a moot point.
1 success.
It's not hard to find the old set of clippers sitting on the shelf that appears to have been from I don't know how long ago. They do look like they are fiber clippers. And they haven't been used for a long time. because there is a big difference between like dog and cat hair and fiber on a livestock animal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, found it.
When Nick looks over at him with the clippers, stay right where you are and turn those things on, and let's see if they even work.
He's going to try.
You plug them in because you do need to plug them in, and they do work. They sound a little bit sort of, you hear a bit of if anybody's ever turned on a set of hair clippers that haven't been on for a while, the first sort of tunk, it's very much a tunk, and you sort of find a little bit of oil. There's a thing of oil in there. Put a couple of drops of oil on it. It's moving. They're working fine.
Seems fine to me.
I mean, you wouldn't want to
Could
cut
I-
your own hair with it, but sure.
Well, yeah, it's also not designed for human hair.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I argue, Cole, since we're going ham, making sure this llama's taken care of, because apparently Nick has found several new touchstones in this animal shelter that aren't even human. Can he make an intelligence animal kin to see if he knows exactly how he needs to cut the wool off of the alpaca to not nick the alpaca?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Ah! That's on recording. Damn it. I dropped a die. Wait, 7. Yep.
And let's face it, it's not a hunter stream without a classic Cole going, hold on, I'll pause and edit this out, but it still stays in the recording anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So come on.
So, on 4 dice, I got 4 successes.
Okay. Yes, I will allow you You've watched enough shearing random videos. I don't know if you've ever come across those random shearing videos on TikTok.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know
Yep.
exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
There's quite a few of them. And like Nick's watched enough of these, it's not hard to find them. You have an idea and an understanding. You also know that one of the hardest things is going to be you two working together for this alpaca to be calm.
So,
Yeah.
Victor, to give this little guy some relief in this heat, I'm going to need you to hold him while I shear him.
You sure? Okay.
I will say, you did sign the waiver. I read the waiver. I know it's there. Just remember that. But yes, I would like to get him shorn as soon as possible. Because Jesus Christ, this guy's got to be burning up inside.
He is already wearing a halter as well, so all you need to do is get the lead on him.
The thing is, I'm pretty handy with the blade, but I don't know how to calm it, like, at all. Like I have no. This is the first time I've met an alpaca in my life. You sure about Joe?
Well, this is the first time I've seen an alpaca in person, too.
Yeah.
So do you want me to hold him while you shear him?
I mean, yeah, I prefer. Yeah. Just.
Okay.
If
So,
that's okay.
yeah, that. With the roll that I just made, when Victor goes to shear him,
He will get a help dice from you, yes.
But okay, cool. So he is. It's you said what to basically effectively grapple the alpaca.
I haven't actually stated anything, but with your 4 on your animal ken, it's definitely going to be. Apologies, folks. I was not expecting to shear an alpaca today. This was not in the agenda. This is a reminder for all storytellers. If you put it in for flavor, your players will go play with it. So, I'm going to say I'm going to need a composure and animal ken from the person holding him. And I am going to need a dex and craft from the person shearing him.
Okay, I got an help die then.
You get a
Whoever the
help
animal.
dice because Nick is going to help you because he knows what to do, so he's going to be guiding you through this.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
That's 4 on the composure animal kin, and I did spend a willpower.
Yep.
Critical success, 5 successes.
So, over the course of the next hour and a half, the most slightly uncoordinated but ever so calm workings of Nick and Victor. Herbert comes out. He does not look very supremely pretty. The fleece is not off in one go. It takes some time. There are a couple of nicks because with a matted animal, unless you know what you're doing, it can create a skin fold. It's very easy to nick them. But considering neither of you have ever done this, with much stomping, Nick definitely gets spat on at least once or twice. Victor, you've copped a hoof to the leg where you've accidentally sort of turned him the wrong way. Much squawking and probably a lot of treats that the animal probably doesn't need, but it's worth it in this moment. Herbert emerges with a pom-pom floof of a haircut left on top. Because you've got to leave the mohawk. It's got to happen. It's just a thing. With a pom-pom floof on the top of his head. The occasional little fluffy bit still on his legs because that's tricky. But otherwise, an absolute mess of fibre all over the small yard that you guys have been working in. Like, it looks like someone just went like on a dandelion and just blew everywhere off this alpaca. There's fluff everywhere. But you successfully managed to shear this alpaca, and there is an odd moment, Victor. You came here today because, hey, your therapist said you needed to try something different. And hell, you're not anything if not, sure, you'll try something once. There is a moment when you finish and you sort of give Herbert's neck a little bit of a rub. And he turns, well, Nick's holding the lead, but he turns and sort of looks at you and just leans in and puts his head on your chest. And for all of the hardships of the last couple of months, all of the stress of parenting your sister, of Frankie, of Cece, of all of the things you guys have dealt with just melts away for that little moment. And it's ridiculous, but you're standing there. You sort of give his neck a bit of a scratch, and then he goes poof and just pushes you back a tiny bit. And then he goes humph, sort of grumbles at you, and but it's still there. It's that little nice moment that you haven't had. Look, maybe the therapist has got something, you know, maybe something they said, you know, maybe they were right about something.
Coincidence.
Yeah, but you know, that's what's in the back of his head. It's at about this point that Carmel sort of finally sticks her head out the door, still with the frame, with the lid, the glass lid, going, "Oh my goodness, he looks amazing. Do you want to try and dye him next? Oh no, better not do that. You've done enough. This is amazing, guys. How did you manage to?" And Herbert's head swings, and eyeballs are in his, and he starts stomping again. He does not like her.
Well, that's good, I guess. I mean...
Well, he looks better than he has in, well, the week he's been here, I suppose.
He was about, like I said, he was about to die of or heat stroke. It's freaking Florida in June, right? Or June.
In June.
Okay.
In July, August.
Good one. Good one. That's what I was about to do.
But she sort of goes, "Oh, thank you. The dogs are out in the play yard, though. That might be a bit more entertaining than this, I suppose." She looks at you and Victor, your black jeans and everything are just covered in fluff. You are fluffy. The bad boy look is gone. The jacket probably came off at some point in the heat, hanging on the fence. It's got dirt and alpaca fluff all over it. It's, yeah.
That's why,
I
yeah, he was saying like, yeah, it's summer. What the fuck? He was actually going to, and yeah. He
I'm
also
imagining
fucking
there's at
leather.
one point during this where Victor takes a break. Like I imagine Victor has his shirt tucked in, untucks his shirt, takes the jacket off, and Victor just lets go of the lead for a minute, looks at him with his arms crossed. Told you so. What did I tell you?
I don't want to get him to get it dirty. What the fuck?
Nick would laugh at that. Um, I would imagine, considering my experiences, that a lot of animal shelters for like in their grooming areas would have like a air compressor to
Yeah,
blow all the fur and stuff out.
yeah.
He's gonna pet Hubert, give him some lovin's as much as he'll allow, pet him, grab Victor's jacket, and drag Victor into the room with the air compressor and start hosing him off with the air compressor.
So you guys pop Habit back into his enclosure. He's got some food. He's got fresh water. He's much cooler. Instantly goes and rolls on the dirt. So he, from that nice clean, but he's already tan alpaca. You don't really notice it. But he rolls on the dirt. You guys tidy up, go in, manage to bag all of the fibre. It's matted. It's a mess. It stinks. One of the odd things you would have noticed is some of the fibre actually smells like nicotine. So you'd heard that this person had the alpaca inside.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good chance. And yes, this happens, folks. It is a real thing that people try to do sometimes. Keep livestock inside. It's not healthy. So, you've definitely made him a lot more comfortable. You get inside, you manage to sort of blow all the fluff off you both, clean yourselves up, and you have the opportunity for the remainder of the sort of morning. You've got a couple of hours left there. You can go and hang out with the dogs, or you can go and hang out with your buddy, and just spend a more normal day at a shelter rather than trying to shear an alpaca.
Trying to, we succeeded.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
succeeded in shearing an alpaca.
The fuck?
We did it.
Nick is gonna look at Victor and say, he's gonna say this. I would recommend you go play with the puppers. My little friend whose cage I have to clean, enclosure I have to
Ah,
clean, is a feisty son of a bitch. Reminds me of the twin. Reminds me of Ella and Emory. I
I
swear to
need to
God.
meet him then.
Okay, just make sure to cover your eyes. And Nick would actually put on like a pair of goggles, so
Yeah.
throw a pair to Victor.
Victor is not going to bother you. He's just going to stay to see him, but he's not going in the cage to actually bother you and be a target.
So, I will get you to make me one last charisma animal can roll, please, for handling your little friend.
To name him. We'll get to that next episode. Spend my third willpower.
Animals are hard to work with, guys.
Yeah, they are. I am very much aware. Ah, that that was not a 10. Okay. 2.
With 2 successes, we will say that you are able to get a majority of the cage, sort of the base of the cage, hosed out and cleaned. You definitely get a couple of scratches again. At one point, there's a bit of alpaca fluff that you didn't quite get out of your hair. And because he still can't fly, those tail feathers are still coming in. He comes up behind you and you feel a yank on the back of your hair as he pulls the alpaca fluff out of the back of your hair and takes off with it back to the back of his cage. You probably don't get to handle him that much today. He's definitely unimpressed with the world. And unimpressed that you are in his enclosure with a hose. But, you know, you still get to spend the time. He doesn't murder you when you come in anymore. Doesn't try to.
Yay!
But,
Progress, and that's how Nick looks at it. He's like, sometimes, much like with people, Victor, you gotta take it slow and easy. Trauma's a bitch.
I'm going to play with the doggers. I don't like here anymore.
No, Nick didn't say that to Victor. This is John internal monologuing,
I know.
and calling back the conversation with
I know.
Victor on the way there.
Oh, it made me so laugh to see Victor pouts, and I don't like it anymore.
So, Victor's going to go off and play with dogs. You guys end up having a wonderful day. You do leave by about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You are covered in dog fur. Alpaca fluff is still coming out of like pockets and places, and you've got bird shit flung up your legs from the hoses, Nick. You guys are feral by the time you leave there, but again, it's almost frustrating, Victor. The therapist and Nick were kind of almost right. Sometimes you do need that moment. But on that, as you guys get ready to leave for the day, we are going to cross to William. Now, William, you have a fun little endeavour. You're looking for a job. Now, the kind of job you're looking for is something more community-minded. Am I right?
Unfortunately,
Because
my lawyer recommended I attempt to do some community service to endear myself to my community.
And no one likes a soup kitchen, do they?
No, I do not like a soup kitchen.
So, instead of that, you are endeavouring to look for an adult education facility to maybe go and help out some people trying to get their GED. So, I believe I already got you to make an intelligence technology roll for this, and you got 3 successes.
Maybe? One moment, let me check.
While he's quickly looking, folks, go and check out hashtag SPbN By Night, all the socials, and where you can find your favourite podcast now. The What the Hell Is That Chronicle has just started uploading. Go and have a look, listen, and catch up on previous episodes.
You had me make a charisma plus etiquette to follow the proper channels,
Yes.
and I rolled successes.
Okay, so with that roll, you have located an adult education facility sort of further south in a slightly lower socioeconomic bracket. It's not the best area, but it probably fits what you're looking for and what Dustin recommended. The head of the facility, Heather, you've spoken to her on the phone.
Is she friendly?
She seemed very friendly. She invited you to come down just to have a conversation about what you can offer and what they can help you with. So she sets a meeting time for approximately 2:30 in the afternoon. Or at your leisure, of course, Dr. Barnett.
2:30 in the afternoon would be wonderful.
So, you hop in your Prius.
He hops in his tiny blue Prius,
Of course, it's powder blue.
and then he turns on the engine. He mutters to himself, "God damn it, Dustin." And then he hits the gas.
So on the drive over, sort of contemplating, have to go deal with people now. You have to teach unwashed masses.
It's not even university. Ugh.
It's not even community college. Ugh. So you turn up. It's a fairly neat and tidy building. It does not look that rough at all. Probably a couple of stories. You can see that they're on the second floor. So as you head up, the elevator's neat, clean. Considering it's an educational facility, it's actually quite clean. And you head on down and you see, as you come out of the elevator, give me a wits and awareness to find the office, please. To find Heather's office.
Yeah. I can remember what my awareness is, so let's check. That's not a bad pool. Can I use... No, I'm not using my desperation. I'm going to accept it. That's 3 successes.
Yep, that's all you needed. So you come across a door that says Heather Treasure.
Heather Treasure. He knocks on the door.
Come in.
Hello, Miss Heather. It is Dr. Barnett. We had a meeting scheduled.
Yes, of course. Come on in. You look to see this 6'3", almost Miss Trunchbull looking educator. The hair is up in a tight, austere bun at the back of the head. She has broad shoulders, almost a bull-like thick neck. The office as you walk in is almost militant in its cleanliness and its organisation. Nothing is out of place in this office. It is neat, clean, organised, minimalistic. Everything is where it should be. And this huge, hulking woman looks at you with a pleasant, welcoming smile that almost seems completely at odds with what you are looking at in this room. You get the feeling that's why this place is so neat, even for being in a lower socioeconomic bracket. She looks at you with a remarkably warm smile on her face. Dr. Barnett puts her hand out to shake yours. Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Treasure, was it?
Treasure, yes. The handshake is like putting your hand in a vice. It is firm and she does not skimp on squeezing and giving it 3 good shakes before she lets go and goes, please, do take a seat. I'd love to discuss potential employment with you.
William proceeds to take a seat, crossing his legs like a proper ambitious young man should,
Mm-hmm.
and setting his he's setting his bag because I'm certain. My guess would be he probably brought like a computer bag,
Yeah.
uh, with like documents in it that he might need for like an interview
Yeah.
of like his PhD stuff like that. His documentation of all that stuff.
William
Uh,
always has a grab bag of some sort to go. Yeah.
yeah. Um. So he sets that down next to his thing. He leans it up against the chair, almost picturesque, as if he himself is setting up as he himself is orderly always, despite the fact that everyone around him and actually knows him knows that he is a complete chaotic mess at all times. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Uh. And he sits to create like almost like a perfect straight line because this is the vibe that she's giving, and she scares him, and he doesn't want to get murdered today.
I want you to give me a charisma performance roll, please.
I'm assuming I don't get my lecture specialty.
Unless you're planning on lecturing her while you're doing this, no.
I'm so good at this. I'm so good. That's two successes.
She looks you up and down while you're doing this and sort of just narrows her eyes slightly. And, well, can I offer you a drink? Tea, coffee, water?
I'll take a coffee.
Interesting. She turns and sort of beside her, she walks into a small room. There's like what appears to be a small kitchenette. She comes back. You hear sort of rustling around, a pot of coffee pouring. Cup of coffee pouring. She comes back in. Apologies, I don't have cream or sugar. I don't particularly indulge myself. Hopefully black is fine.
Black will be perfect.
Fantastic. She sits down and opens a fresh bottle of water and sits it down. Has a sip and... Okay. So, you contacted me. We're not currently hiring a... She looks down at a note on her desk. Physics teacher?
Well, I mean, physics is just my area of particular study.
Mm-hmm.
I do have other fields in which I can teach. I'm well versed in psychology. I'm well versed in uh, the field of biology. Uh,
When you say well
gen-
versed, do you have accreditations to back this up?
biology, no. Psychology, yes. That's what my master's degree was in. Library science was my bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, my PhD was in theoretical physics, um, as I am certain I have made aware. Um, uh, as for my other uh, accreditations, when it comes to biology and the like, I've taken uh, many courses that would grant me an understanding of what would need to be taught to a high school level to for members who obtain their GED. General uh, general sciences, I would most likely be able to teach to the level that would be necessary. Uh, and then in terms of other things, obviously, um, general English academic courses. Being a PhD, I've written a lot of papers in my life. Uh, so, teaching that as well is something I could potentially do. Um,
I've currently not heard you mention any kind of degrees in education.
well, that would be because my PhD level is not in education, nor is
Mm-hmm.
it anything in, nor do I have that sort of background. However, having been my master's and my PhD, I have taught students before,
Mm-hmm.
teaching while as a part of my degree track, and under my PhD in order to obtain aid with my tuition throughout my university days. It was required that I teach, and that's a part of who I am is teaching. It's part of my passion. Um, in fact, I quite miss it. So despite the fact that I don't have accreditation in teaching at the moment as a particular track of my field, I have experience teaching on a university level for my degree path. So there's that. I currently work at the museum, and the manatee museum, and I do a lot of that with the manatees. I help out there as well. So while I do not have accreditation in teaching, I do have experience, and I think experience often uh, trumps accreditation in some very limited factors.
Uh-huh. And if we were to complete a police check or background check of any kind, do you foresee any issues popping up on your record?
If you were to complete a police background check, I would imagine there would likely be a pause because I am a theoretical physicist. I am on many watch lists. As I'm certain you are well aware, theoretical physicists are, uh, what's the word? Considered potentially dangerous. That sort of knowledge is how certain very, very dangerous weapons can be created. I'm not a big fan of violence. I don't particularly enjoy it. I don't ever wish to use my gifts in such a manner. But because of that, I am on many lists myself, and I'm aware of that. That's something that I signed up for with my degree track, and I know that. On top of
Nothing
that,
recent? Are you making that noise in character?
William would not be, but I don't know what to say.
To be brutally honest, the main concern that I have is if you have any issues potentially with working with children, because we do have some parents who occasionally bring their children in to study with them in our library area. It is a service that we allow because that is a method of facilitating education and improving one's lot in this world.
I have absolutely no issues with children, though there was an event recently at the museum of a recent false alarm. Uh, so, but that had nothing to do with me. Um,
Well, if it had nothing to do with you, Dr. Barnett, why bring it up?
Simply because, like I said, I'm on so many watch lists that it might appear on a background check. Um,
She makes a
Simply
good
because
point.
I was there at the time. Um,
She sort of
there was a
does
gas leak.
make a
The
few
whole it,
pages, makes a few notes on the page that she's
there was
obviously been, yeah.
there was a gas leak. It was a whole ordeal.
Did you, are you in the habit of creating gas leaks, Dr. Barnett?
No, you see, I was working in the biology lab at the time, uh, and there was a spill, and it set off the alarms. It wound up being nothing, just but it was a problem at the time.
Very well. Well, I can let you know that at this current point in time, we're about to head into summer break. However, you mentioned library sciences. We have not had a librarian for quite some time. And we have several rooms. One with books still in storage that we need to get out and organise and catalogue. They're a donation. from a local benefactor. And being brutally honest, that would, at this point in time, where your potential skills may be best placed.
I would love that. I do so miss the library.
We've not had anyone really apply for physics in this area as part of their GED at this point, but there may be some people who come in to study who may require mathematical assistance or science assistance. So if you could, pending a successful background check and checking in with other referees who you give us, we could definitely use the assistance. The pay is not great. I'm not going to lie. It's actually
I don't have to worry.
minimal.
I don't have to worry about funding. I personally come from a very wealthy background. I do this for the love of education.
How very noble of you. And she just stares
Yeah.
at you.
Noble is the correct word. Yes.
Well, beggars can't be choosers when help is needed. If you wouldn't mind filling this out, and she'll slide some paperwork across to you. Get this back to me in the next couple of days, and once your background check is complete, we can start with your induction.
How lovely. I'm so very excited.
As am I.
Great coffee. Anyway, here, if you want a copy of my PhD, here you go. If you want a copy of my bachelor's and my master's, there you go. Just have that on file. I think it's time for me to
Very well. This isn't necessary, but thank you. It's appreciated. She will stand up and hold the door open and show you out. Can I have my cup back, please?
Oh, yes.
She just sort of takes the cup out of William's hand at the door and thank you.
The coffee cup was full, and then it was gone.
Uh-huh. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I'd like you to give
Yes.
me a wits and awareness roll as she closes the door, please.
This is where she says that he's a crazy man. That is 3 successes.
You hear her mutter something. Oh, you got to re-roll?
I'm gonna re-roll
Okay.
because I'm gonna crit it.
Okay.
Didn't we already know he was a crazy
And
man?
it's a crit. 6 successes.
How many?
6.
With 6 successes, you hear her mutter. So quietly, most would not have heard her. Grover had better be right about this one. Bloody hell. She closes the door. So, do you submit your paperwork?
He does submit his paperwork.
Once his paperwork is submitted, 48 hours later, he would get an email. Welcome to the team, Dr. Barnett, Director of Library Sciences. Which you would know is pretty much an empty title.
But it's a title.
And should you present yourself back at the facility, you would be given directions to a large double classroom. Sort of that sort of a size. So you know those large double classrooms sometimes that have the divider they occasionally pull into the middle of it?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Full of old rickety metal shelves. Covered in books. Most of them are unorganized, uncatalogued, even to no Dewey Decimal, anything. This is a cowboy wild library that has not been touched in a long time. There are stacks of boxes in a store cupboard at the back full of books that have not even been opened yet. There is a very old computer there for cataloguing purposes, but the scanner doesn't even work. So if you were to barcode anything, it's... Heather's excuse is this is the one area that we have not yet been able to secure funding for. So your presence is will hopefully bring some much needed organisation over the summer. Essentially, William has just been left in charge of a very large, very disorganised resource section of a library for, you have some summer school students coming in and out, but yeah.
Do some money tapping. It's time to do some money tapping.
You want to use money tap to secure funding for the library?
Not right now.
Okay.
When we meet somebody rich who I don't like, maybe.
So this is something that I'm going to allow you to, because we go on break in a couple of weeks. Over that break, pending what happens over the next couple of weeks, should you wish to attempt a project, this is the start of one that could be very beneficial for William in the future. So, however many hours or days of the week that you wish to spend in this library, from now on, please let me know in your downtime. Because those days will add up, and each time I will get you to make a roll as to how much of it you get organised. Should you wish to secure funding, we can work on that too. Because by the end of this, if it is successful, your goal will be a lot easier. Yes. Your goal of stepping into politics is going to be a lot easier. On that, we're going to have a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to meet up with the three of them. To maybe go on a trip. See where they end up. See you back here in 5. Everybody go get a drink, move your body, and we'll talk to you soon. welcome back, everybody. I hope you had an awesome break. Moved your bodies, got a drink, maybe had a snack. Yeah, did what you needed to do. We are going to jump straight back in with the boys, as we are going to skip time forward to Sunday. Now, normally the group meets up on a Monday, catches up after the weekend, but this week Ella and Emory are off doing whatever it is that they happen to be doing. They haven't really told anybody what they're up to. They're just sort of off doing something. So to alleviate the anxiety that I have no doubt will bring those two, the twins, not really, but you know what I mean, are off into some level of chaos, those sisters. William has messaged Nick and Victor to meet him at the museum, to maybe go on a bit of a trip down south. William, what do you message them?
Guys, meet me at the museum. It's important.
Nick texts back almost immediately. Shit, you okay?
Just meet me at the museum.
Okay, oh dear God. He texts back. He goes.
Victor.
10-4.
So you two turn up to the museum, not entirely sure what's going on. I will get you both to make me a wits and awareness as you enter the area towards new William's office, though, please.
2.
2.
Five successes.
5 successes. So Victor will arrive first. He lives a little bit closer. William, what do they walk into you doing in your office?
William's sitting on the computer, just being like, "Oh, Victor, over here, over here, over here!" And he's just typing.
As you walked in, Victor, you did notice that your security guards are all there. They all gave you a nod seeing you enter. It's quite a busy day at the museum. You don't notice anything untoward, and there's nothing strange as you enter. Nick, you barely see the security guards as you come in, just saying. So, again, sorry, Victor, William.
Yeah, what's happening? What's...
Oh, no, nothing's happened. I just needed you guys to come with me to an art museum because I was lonely. And I knew if I didn't make it sound important, you wouldn't have shown up. So I made it sound important so that way you would show up and we could go to the art museum.
Why are you on the computer again?
Oh, I was just looking up the art museum because I needed directions. Here, come look, it's really cool.
At this point, this is when Nick walks in to find Victor and William around the computer.
Can I insert that? Thank you.
Nick walks in, looks at William. I swear to God, William, I will wring your fucking neck if you did what I think you just did. Why are you on your computer?
I'm looking at an art museum. We're going here.
4 successes.
There's nothing wrong. He's just looking at an art museum, Victor.
Oh,
There
is
a tab that is not open that is like to the left that's like basically like library organization files. But you'd have to click into that to see it.
Yeah.
Nick?
Why that? And that's it. You called me here just to go to an art museum.
Yeah, that's all. I called you guys because I don't have a lot of other friends, and I know that you guys are really only show up when there's a crisis. So I made it sound like it was important, so that way you guys would show up and we could go to the art museum, because I'm kind of lonely and I haven't had friends here for a while now, and the other scientists here don't like me. So I just let's just go. Let's just go. Let's get in my Prius and go.
Nick, don't indulge him. No, I see you, Nick.
I am not a fan of being led on by false pretenses. You could have just said, "Hey, do you want to go to an art museum?" And I actually would have said yes. I wasn't doing shit all today. Fucking gave me a goddamn heart attack, William.
But he wouldn't have shown up.
That's when I go and drag him out of his own apartment, I guess. I don't.
Is Robert okay as well?
What?
You are the only one here with him, right?
Yeah, I'm
I
the
mean-
only one here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Emory or Ella today. I don't think that I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, that kind of terrifies me in and of itself.
Yeah, considering their propensity for stirring the pot, as it were. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean,
William, if you want to hang out with me, all you have to do is ask.
I will keep this in mind for the future.
Why do I feel like that just means you said, fuck that, I'll keep doing what I'm doing because it works?
I will keep that in mind for the future.
Alright, I'm driving. Your car's small. We all can't fit comfortably inside a Prius. We'll take my car.
Back seats.
And both of us are tall.
Well,
One of us is gonna be. Yes, it's a full size, not a fucking Prius.
Fine.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. Text me the address.
yeah, I mean,
It's okay.
to be fair, it's going to look like three clowns get out of a tiny car. It's going to be really weird. Yeah.
Not weird, it's just uncomfortable, and I'm sure as hell not sitting in the back of that damn thing.
Yeah, the
Not
last
the
time
way
was
William
fucking
drives.
cramped. Oh.
So the
You know what? Let's go.
The three of you climb into Nick's car, and you head for a museum sort of down the south of Sarasota that is well known for its fine artworks. It has a range of almost 45,000 objects in its collection. It's quite well established. They do rotate it through. So on the trip down, it takes about 45 minutes to get down there from where you guys are.
Quick question, just
Yes.
as a callback from something earlier. Nick's contact mentioned Sarasota's kind of a hot spot for the supernatural bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a conversation they had early on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nick's not saying shit to them.
Awesome.
He's keeping that to himself. He's being mindful of it, but he's not going to tell them too because, dear Lord, his experience with them on the hunt so far has been point and click interface, and he ain't about to deal with that. He wants to go have a good
To
time.
be fair, Victor didn't do shit since we met. But because he thought that was an emergency, probably he has his artifact with him in a bag.
So he has his little suitcase
Yeah,
that contains his broken down sniper rifle in the
Yeah.
vehicle with you all.
Yep.
So you guys.
He's not going to leave it on the museum, man.
No. So I would like you to give me a composure drive, please.
Oh God.
You're driving.
Oh God. Okay. Apparently, my thought when I built Nick was he's too queer for that. Oh God. Okay. That's one success in Florida traffic.
On a Sunday, it actually takes you about an hour and a half. You get stuck in a traffic jam, you take a few wrong turns. William's probably spitefully either A, incorrectly directing you, or B, just being a pain in the butt. I feel
I'm
like
gonna
William
go
might
with
be a backseat driver. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
He is absolutely a backseat driver. There is definitely times where like he is like stomping on the imaginary brake as Nick is driving. Uh, like like oh god, oh god, oh god, we're gonna die.
as he does in real life, y'all. Um,
So,
um,
by the time you
I
get.
will say,
Yeah.
for a little bit of flavor in this, aside from the nagging, if William is trying to give him directions, Nick has a new-ish model car that he's just plugged his phone into it and has the GPS pulled up on the screen. It's mainly just because Nick is oblivious, much like me, when it comes to driving and trying to follow GPS at the same time.
Well, not just that, but also with William's constant prattling, that thought going through your mind from Jack as well. It's quite easy to make a couple of mistakes with your turns. Um, but you arrive at the museum. It's bustling, not super busy. Um, and you can enter and go and have a look around.
We followed.
Wits and awareness, please.
Hehe.
I feel like one of these days we actually are going to be followed, and it's because
I mean, the police is on to William, so
It the day we don't the day Victor doesn't ask is going to be the day that we are followed.
100%.
I mean, the only time I didn't check, we were fucking bugged, man.
That is true. That is 100% true. So we can't argue that logic, can we?
4 successes.
4 successes. On 4 successes, you do not notice anyone following you. There is, however, as you pull into the art gallery's car park, there is one car that looks slightly familiar. You can't put to mind why.
Fuck.
Do we, can I? Do we have any kind of paper on me? I don't know.
Yeah, you can have a pen and paper on you. You're gonna write down the license plate.
Yeah, just in case. Just it's maybe not important, but it's weird. Okay.
Of course.
And I wanted to just be careful if we are followed by little friends of William, just to not actually take any hit on him again.
Uh-huh.
Going to another museum.
Well, you're going to an art gallery. It is slightly different to a museum.
Yeah, sure.
So you guys turn up. Now, it is an absolutely gorgeous building. It is an older building. Let's have a look here. So, this is the Ringling History Museum and Art Gallery. So, this is actually quite a famous museum, quite a famous art gallery. Now you've got me saying museum, thanks Nexus. Quite a famous gallery. It does contain some history and the like in there. It has a lot of different variations of art and different collections within its halls, within its walls. As you head in, the arches belie some of the chaos within, or belie some of the collections themselves, with some amazing circus history as well, contained within certain sections of this gallery. So, while you wander on through, what is it you guys would like to do?
Nick is gonna go look at the pretty art.
Okay.
Victor is going to search for maybe a brochure or something with actually explaining stuff because he's not going to step out and be in front of the art just to read the tiny paper on the on the end, you know.
There are definitely brochures there that you can purchase from the information desk as you walk in. That's not a problem.
Maybe a map as well. He doesn't know where he is, so.
So you would receive a map for it as well, with that brochure that can help to guide you around. Do you stay together?
I mean, why not? Yeah, sure.
William
Nick
Nick and Victor because he didn't want to come alone.
Nick might have forgot that memo that William didn't want to come along because Nick got a little excited and went off and went to go explore as soon as he got the door.
So you guys are essentially following Nick around the museum, around the gallery then, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like you all to give me an independent, separate wits and awareness roll, please. As you slowly peruse around the art gallery and the locations you're going to.
Going to roll that.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! I'm gonna accept that. That is a crit 6 successes.
Nice.
2.
Nice.
It's above 6, right?
Yes.
With a
So
success. Okay.
6 and above is a success, yes.
4 successes with a reroll.
Okay. Again, keep track of your willpower should you choose to
Yeah.
use it. So, Nick, you definitely do get lost a lot in a lot of the artwork. There are some amazing displays of not only classic art, but also some modern art. There's some historical pieces that are absolutely magnificent. You sort of know that the others are following you and sort of keeping it near you, but you probably don't pay them as much mind. Victor, you are definitely not interested in losing either of these two right now. You are keeping them in your sight. So much so that perhaps you don't always notice or appreciate the different artwork completely. As Nick is sort of pondering off and William sort of looks over here, it's like if you've ever seen a parent trying to keep two children together in a store, that's almost what it looks like. Not completely, but it's like, but you're there, but you do get the chance to sort of have a look around as well, even amongst all this chaos. William, with your 6 with a crit, during the tour, touring through, it's not really a tour you go on per se, but whilst looking through and around, you see out of the corner of your eye, slipping into a staff area, a familiar tweed jacket.
William is gonna try to get lost in the crowd and follow.
The tweed jacket is not Robert.
Oh.
There is something in the back of your brain that triggers a spark for you. Triggers a memory. There was something about back in your youth. You and 2 friends used to travel together a lot through your college days and your university days. Until one of them went missing. The night that Alice went missing, Jeff lost his jacket. It was his favourite tweed jacket that he used to wear all the time and made a mockery of their academics. Used to make the joke that, you know, if I'm going to be a professor one day, I need a tweed jacket, right? But in the chaos of Alice going missing, his jacket was misplaced. It was very unique and very distinctive. It was a dark hunting green on the edges. That is the flash that you saw. Going into a staff-only area. You're not entirely certain it's the same jacket, but fuck, it's a coincidence. You only get that because of your crit.
William's going to take out his smartphone, and with his global access, could he access the security cameras?
Give me your edge test, please, William.
Oh, god damn it, honey.
Do we see him do that? Do something in his phone?
This is a good thing! This is a good thing that I am doing!
Oh,
This is a good plan!
Can we see him? Like,
you,
pull out his
with your
phone?
4 successes, see William pull out his phone and look at it. Fairly intently.
Can I get my desperation? I feel like this is a pretty desperate thing for William, and this is finding information on a potential hunt.
It is, and you can have 2 dice should you choose to use them for this.
Victor is just going to tap on Nick's shoulder. Just, hey.
That is 5 successes. I'm going to accept that, and that is 5 successes, a 6 and a 4 on the desperation die.
Beautiful. No issues whatsoever. You are able to access the security cameras. It takes you a little bit. Quite a few people pass you by while you're standing there. Kind of hard to be stealthy while you're standing there very actively trying to do something on your phone. So while these two, Nick is being alerted to William doing something.
Yeah, just like, yeah, don't go too far. William has a thing. Maybe a call, something. I don't know.
William, you do get the current security footage. Bearing in mind, with the access you are using, you cannot access the historical footage. You can get the live feed. Not on a smartphone. Laptop, different story. Not on a smartphone. So you can get into the live feed. And you can look where this person was and sort of try to trace them. You get towards the edge of the museum on the other side of the gallery. You're flicking through the cameras, you're looking for that jacket. You're looking. Give me a wits and awareness.
This is going to be where he fucks it up.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm not
Can't
going to
take
use
what-
desperation this time.
You would not be allowed to use desperation for this roll.
I am going to re-roll though, because I'm going to crit fish.
Okay?
And this feels important.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the crit, but I got 5 successes, which is my whole pool.
Which is all you needed to get. That was your difficulty. You get at the very edge. Out in the car park. Getting into a vehicle. A frantic face looks back whilst wearing the jacket. It is the face of Alice. You're not 100% certain, but it's too similar. And she looks scared. as she gets into a vehicle and leaves.
Can he get the tags on the
William,
vehicle?
it has been years and you assumed that she was dead. She has been written off as dead. Her family grieved. There was a funeral. Nick and Victor, William looks like he has just seen a ghost.
William is going to release a few tears. And then he's going to slip his phone back in his pocket. Wow. It's been a wonderful trip. Thank you both. Thank you for coming here with me. This has been very insightful, both of you. I think we should return home.
But I'm not.
But nothing, Nicholas.
I will allow both of you to make a wits and insight roll, should you choose to.
He was going to say something, but you put the phone back in your pocket and shed few tears. So Victor is just okay.
What is this feeling shit? What's going on here?
Why? I mean, the art is good. Don't get me wrong, but
Something has distressed Victor. I'm sorry, something has distressed William. Wrong.
don't count this roll. It's not the good pool. Sorry.
That's okay. But something has definitely distressed William. There's no if buts maybes about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nick had turned back to looking at some of the art because he's just like, okay, I can't wander off, but I'm not gonna pay attention to William. So he probably didn't see him shed the tears.
One success.
William's moody. He shifts sometimes. Really, who can tell with these academics? But you definitely see that something has sort of shaken William up, Nick.
You okay? You have something in your eyes, or
I'm fine, but we're leaving now. We can come back, we may return, but we are leaving now. In fact, I would say we will return.
Nick just kind of goes like this and scrutinizes him as he's walking towards the exit.
okay.
We cannot discuss this here, Nicholas. If you wish
All right,
to
well, we got a long car ride home, so.
we do. Indeed, we do.
So as you guys hop back in your vehicle, at least half of the place left unvisited.
Is the car still here, by the way?
No.
Can I mention that to the rest of the cell?
Yes, you can.
I saw. I didn't want to warn you guys, but I saw. I think I recognized a car just here. I just took the plate, the license plate, just in case. Didn't. I don't remember who it's going to belong, but just in case, especially with your FBI friends, William and Frankie.
Ah.
So, with some interesting conversations to be had on the drive back, and over the course of this next week, we're going to leave them there to maybe still catch up. Enjoy your evening, everybody. We'll see you next week.